Morning students. Today we are going to learn about conditionals. So the use of conditional in English grammar. What is conditional? They are called if clauses. You know what is if clauses. Conditional statements discuss known factors or hypothetical situations and their consequences. There are 4 different types of conditional sentences in English. Each one expresses a different degree of possibility. Let us study each of these types of conditional sentences, especially paying attention to their tense of the verb. We will be making use of our Total English textbook by doing exercises from it as we progress our learning of conditional sentences. So, conditional sentences. So, a definition given to conditional sentences. They are sentences expressing factual implications or hypothetical situations and their consequences. Factual implication and hypothetical situation. What is fact? What is hypothetical? We know fact means something true and hypothetical is something unreal or may not be real. Possibly it can be real or most probably it is not real. A full conditional sentence, that means one that expresses the condition as well as its consequences. We know in a conditional sentence we have if clause, okay, which shows the condition, and the consequence clause, which is the main clause. So there is a dependent clause and main clause, independent clause. Dependent clause with if, that is a conditional clause, and then there is the consequence of this condition, which is a main clause. So a full conditional sentence therefore contains 2 clauses. Full conditional sentence or complete sentence. So in this context, when we say full conditional sentence or complete sentence, we mean one that expresses the condition with if and along with that a main clause with consequence. So full conditional sentence contains 2 clauses. The dependent clause expressing the condition, and that is called protasis. In English, the dependent clause expressing the condition with if, that is known as protasis, and then the main clause with that expressing the consequence, that is known as apodosis. So in a conditional sentence we have protasis and apodosis. What is protasis? Protasis is the if clause which expresses the condition. Then we have apodosis, that is the main clause which gives the consequence or result of it. So conditional sentence, they contain both protasis and apodosis. So here take note of these examples. If it rains, the picnic will be cancelled. If a man smiles at me, I feel happy. I shall take an umbrella in case it rains. So when you analyze these sentences, what are the specialities we find? See here in the first sentence, if it rains, comma is there. So we start with the dependent clause or if clause. So after that comma is necessary. So here the tense used is simple present. The picnic will be cancelled. Here we have the use will be. So in future. So if a man smiles at me, I feel happy. Here both are in simple present. So in first 2 sentences we have the if clause first, and after the if clause we use commas. The first sentence, if it rains, comma, second sentence, if a man smiles at me, comma. But the third sentence, in the third sentence we don't start the sentence with the if clause. So here we have the main clause first. I shall take an umbrella in case. In case means if. I shall take an umbrella if it rains. I shall take an umbrella in case it rains. So here there is no comma. So take note of this thing. Once you start the sentence, conditional sentence, which is consisting of two clauses, dependent clause with if and independent, which is the main clause. So there is no if there. So usually we start the conditional sentence with the if clause, but we can also start the conditional sentence with the main clause. For example, is the third one. I shall take an umbrella in case it rains, and there is no comma there. So types of conditional sentences. So we have zero conditional clause, then first conditional, that is type 1, open conditional clauses. Then we have second conditional, that is type 2, hypothetical conditional clause. And finally third conditional, that is type 3, conditional clauses with unfulfilled conditions in the past. So maybe these last three, first conditional type 1, second conditional type 2 and third conditional type 3, you might have studied in your previous classes in the previous years. But zero conditional clause you might not have heard or studied. So today we will see what is zero conditional clause also along with this. So first, zero conditional clause. So we use zero conditional when we want to talk about facts or things that are generally true. It uses if or when and must be followed by the simple present or imperative. So the zero conditional, when do we use it? It is used when the time being referred to is now or always. And here the situation is real and possible. Means the zero conditional is commonly used to refer to general truths. So examples, if you heat ice, it melts. When you heat ice, it melts. If it rains, the grass gets wet. The grass gets wet if it rains. So when you pay attention to these sentences, what are things we notice? If you heat ice, here we have started the clause with if. So this is if clause, and after that there is comma. Okay, this is main clause, it melts, that is main clause. So in both these cases, both these clauses you find, so we use simple present tense. The tense of the verb are, so tense of the verb is here simple present. Heat, melt, heat. Okay, this simple present, melts, simple present form. When you heat ice, so here instead of if we have used when. So that is a possibility in zero conditional clause. So we can use when in the sense of if. Instead of if we can use when. Okay, and it is conditional clause only. When you heat ice, it melts. So the present days grammar we find this zero conditional to along with the other clauses which you may not find in your own textbook. But zero conditional clause where we have two clauses, and in both the clauses we use simple present form. And if it rains, the grass gets wet. The same. And the last one, the grass gets wet if it rains. Here we have started with the main clause. So that is why there is no comma here. The grass gets wet if it rains. So there is no rule with regard to which one to be started first. You can start either with the dependent clause or with the main clause. If you start with the dependent clause, comma is necessary. And if you don't start with the if clause, instead of that you start with the main clause. The grass gets wet if it rains. In that case, we start with the main clause, there is no comma there. So just notice the tense in both the parts of the sentence in these clauses, they are simple present. And here you have the formula of making conditional zero conditional clause. So conditional clause first and main clause. So we know that there are these two clauses, conditional clause with if or when and main clause. In conditional clause we have the use of if or when, then simple present, and in the main clause we have simple present. If you heat ice, that is conditional clause. So there you have if and simple present, if and heat. And here main clause simple present tense is in simple present form. So after zero conditional clause we have the next one. So type 1, that is also known as open conditional clause. So what is this open conditional clause? It contains a condition that may or may not be fulfilled. Contains a condition that may or may not be fulfilled. That means possibility is there. Okay, it is not necessary for that to take place, but there is possibility. In a clause of this type, there is no indication whether the condition is likely to be fulfilled or not. We don't know whether it will be fulfilled or not, but there is probability, there is possibility for the fulfillment of this. So there are two clauses in this open conditional clauses. One that tells about the possibility, okay, probability, okay, and the result of that in the main clause. First we have the dependent clause, if clause, which will tell about the condition, and then we have the main clause, which will give the result of the condition. Example: if you call me, I shall come to you. So in this sentence, just take note of the sentence. If you call me, if you call me, what is missing here? A comma. If you call me, comma, I shall come to you. So we have here in this open conditional, we find a change from the zero conditional. So there, everything is almost similar, but it is I shall, instead of shall, there it was simple present, but here it is shall. If you call me, I shall come to you. If you call me, comma is necessary there. I shall come to you. Here in this sentence, the verb in the conditional clause. What is the verb in the conditional clause? That is called. Is in the present tense. And the verb in the main clause, shall come, is usually in the future. A symbol future is used there. But still there is difference in the tense of the verb. In the zero conditional we saw, in the if clause and main clause, in both the cases we were using simple present. Tense was in simple present form, but here if clause is in simple present form and the main clause is in simple future form. Shall come. Shall is used. Sometimes shall or will, etc. is used. So here in this sentence, the verb in the conditional clause, that is called, is in the present tense, and the verb in the main clause, okay, that is shall come, is usually in future. So here is the shall come. Usually in any other sentence, it will be in simple future. So now there are a few okay. So before going to the homework part, let us see the format, how to make the sentence. So first conditional clause, then main clause. So this is the way we make a first type 1 conditional, open conditional clause. Okay, open conditional sentences are made this way. First we have the conditional clause with if, unless, in case, even if. See, in the former one, zero conditional, we have seen only if and when. But here we have if, unless, in case, even if. And here, okay, after the if, unless, in case, even if, you have simple present form. Then in the main clause, in the former sentence we saw, it was shall. Shall was used. Here you have a number of verb, future, indicating future. Can, will or shall, may or might, must or need not, ought to, should be able to. then the base of the verb with this means simple future form. With the can and base of the verb mean that is simple future. Will or base of the verb, as we have seen already, shall come. If I have time, I shall come to your house. Another sentence, you will not get there unless. Unless means if not. Okay, if you do not hurry up, you will not get there. You will not get there unless you hurry up. We start with the main clause. You will not get there unless you hurry up. But the reverse order, we can follow, write it. How is it? If you do not hurry up, comma, you will not get there. Full stop. I shall take an umbrella in case it rains or if it rains. So we start with the main clause. I shall take an umbrella. So there is no comma there. But if you start with the if clause, then there is comma. I shall take an umbrella in case, or I shall take an umbrella if it rains. If I drop the glass, it will break, or it may break, or it might break. Okay, after this, we go to the textbook exercise. So in page number 184, okay, exercise 1, okay, you can follow the textbook. If he dash all the chocolates, he will be ill. So it's a very simple exercise. What will be the form of the verb there? It is simple present. If he eats, it is simple present, and we know that it is singular. He, subject is singular. So eats. If he eats all the chocolates, he will be ill. Simple future is used there. It is open conditional sentence. So the subordinate. So first we have we are not talking about subordinate or main clause here. We are talking about the conditional clause there. So if clause. So if he eats all the chocolates, so he will be ill. Will is used. Then if the baby dash a girl, we are going to call her Mary. So we start with the if clause. If the baby is a girl, we are going to call her Mary. Then if she is late, see there are exceptionally we are using continuous form also. It's not always that we use simple future. There are certain cases where we can use continuous form. Okay, that is not a mistake. So here, if she is late, we dash without her go. What is the form of go there? If she is late, we go without her. With we can use the verb go. So if she is late, we go without her. Fourth one, if you come late, they dash you in. So according to the rule, we can use here will. If you come late, they will not let you in. And the fifth sentence is, if Aditi dash us, in bracket help, the job will only take an hour. If Aditi helps us, the job will only take an hour. So the remaining ones 6 to 10, that is given as homework. So here exercise 2 in page number 184, complete sentence B, making it similar in meaning to sentence A. What are the sentences here? Unless she stops working so many hours, she will get ill. So find out the answer for this. So unless she stops working so many hours, she will get ill. So what is the answer for this? If she does not stop working so many hours, okay, she will get ill. If she does not stop working so many hours, comma, she will get ill. That is the answer. Second one, work late tonight and finish the report. Okay, start with if you work. So if you work, what will be the answer? If you work late tonight, comma, you will finish the report. If you work late tonight, comma, you will finish the report. Third one, I shall not forgive him unless he apologizes to me. We start with if he dash, if he apologizes to me, comma, if he apologizes to me, comma, I shall forgive him. Okay. So now the remaining ones, from 4 to 8 in the textbook, page number 184 you will find, that is given as homework. So after this, so we are going to the next one, type 2, hypothetical conditional clause. What is hypothetical? It contains a condition that is improbable or unreal. So type 1 we have seen, probability is there. In zero conditional we have seen, so there is odd probability, mean it will take place. Okay, that is a truth. And in the type 1 open conditional, there is probability, it may take place or it may not take place. But type 2 hypothetical conditional, there it contains condition that is improbable. Underline, improbable or unreal. The condition stated is not likely to be fulfilled. Means there is no possibility of such a thing taking place. The simple past tense of the verb is used in these conditional clauses. So here we use the simple past tense of the verb. In the conditional clauses we use simple past tense. See, if we had money, we would buy a house. If we had money, put a comma there. If we had money, we would buy a house. So, if I had 5 lakh rupees, I would buy a car. It would be awful if you lost your ticket. If I were you, I would challenge him. So, if we start with the if clause, after that comma is necessary. And in all these cases, you see, if we had, so simple past form is used. And in the main clause, what is the change? We see would is used there. Okay, in the main clause we find would is used. Here third sentence starting with the main clause, it would be awful if you lost your ticket. What is this? Simple past. And in the main clause we have this use of would. Here, if I were you, we are using the simple past. If I were you, and the main clause we have would. In these examples, the if clause often refers to something unreal or imaginary. We have already seen that. Type 2, hypothetical condition. Hypothetical means we are inferring something based on not any reality. Okay, we know certain facts, but we are imagining here. Hypothetical means imagining, imagination. In grammar, when you talk about hypothetical, that is purely imagination. Okay, maybe in the other sense, hypothetical may not be always imagination, but here it is purely imagination. Unreal. There is no possibility of it taking place later. Now we have exercises. So before that we have the structure of the sentence. How to make this sentence. So this unreal type 2 sentence. First we have if or unless or even if or if only. Then along with that we have simple past. In the example we have seen. Then we have in the main clause we have would and base of the verb. So here if I had, simple past. Okay, if we had, if I were you, simple past is used, and the main clause would is used. So we have exercises here, page number 186. So give the correct form of the verb. If you asked him for 2,000 rupees, what dash he say? Second, I would be grateful if you dash this document. Third, if I dash in bracket no their address, I would give it to you. Fourth one, what dash you dash do if you found a thief in your house? So get the answers fast. So first one is, if you asked him for 2000 rupees, what does he say? So what is the form of tense there? So first one is, what would he say? Simple past. In the if clause, simple past is used, and we know in the main clause we have to use would. What would he say? Second one is, I would be grateful if you dash sign this document. So here what will be the answer? Here we are starting with the main clause. Would is already used there. So I would be grateful if you, so according to the rule, what we have to use? We have to use simple past. So if you signed this document. And third sentence, if I, we start with the if clause. If I dash know their address, what will be there instead of know? It will be simple past. If I knew their address, I would give it to you. Then we have the fourth one, what dash you dash. So what will be? So we are starting here with the main clause. So we know we have to use would there. What would you? What would you do if you found a thief in your house? So independent main clause is used first. Then only if clause is used. So there is no comma in that case. Now we have exercise 4. That is page number 186. So exercise 4. Complete sentence B, making it similar in meaning to sentence A. So here we have A and B. A is question, B is to be completed by you. We have no matches, so we cannot light a fire. If we had dash. 2. He smokes too much. Perhaps that is why he can't get rid of his cough. If he didn't. Third one. I will give up my job when I win a lottery. So we have to complete it with, so we start with if I won, then we have to complete. Fourth one, she is very shy. That's why she doesn't enjoy parties. If she was not dash. So complete it. Find out the answer soon. So first one is, we have no matches, so we cannot light a fire. So what will be the answer for this? If we had matches. So if we had matches, we know that it is if clause. So naturally there should be comma after that. If we had matches, comma, we could light a fire. If we had matches, comma, we could light a fire. Second one, he smokes too much. Perhaps that is why he can't get rid of his cough. If he didn't smoke so much, so that is if clause, so comma is needed. If he did not smoke so much, comma, he could not get rid of his cough. If he did not smoke so much, comma, he could not get rid of his cough. Third one, I will give up my job when I win a lottery. What's the answer here? If I won a lottery, comma, I would give up my job. I would give up, would. We know in main clause we use would. I would give up. I would give up my job. And fourth one is, she is very shy. That is why she doesn't enjoy parties. What's the answer? If she was not very shy, comma. If she was not very shy, comma, she would enjoy parties. She would. It's very important to use the correct form of the tense in these sentences. That makes them type 1, type 2 or type 3. So now we have the homework part. That is from 5 to 8. So 5 to 8 will be done as homework, page number 186. So now the next one. So we go to the type 3. Conditional clauses with unfulfilled conditions in the past. So it contains a condition that was not fulfilled in the past. Here we are talking about something, okay, that should have taken, would have taken place in the past, but that did not take place in the past. It contains a condition that was not fulfilled in the past. In the past it did not take place. In such clauses, the past perfect form of the verb is used. So in type 3, there is a change from type 2 or from 0 conditional or from type 1. So here, past perfect form of the verb is used. Okay. Example, if she had eaten regularly. In the if clause, we find past perfect form is used. Had eaten. What is the tense there? Past perfect. If she had eaten regularly, she would have been healthy. In the main clause also we have to take note. So there is change of the form of verb. Would have been. So here we are using would have been healthy. In another sentence, if you had been there, what is this? Past perfect form is used. With if clause we have used past perfect form of the verb. And in the main clause, again, would have. Would have, in the former sentence, would have been, here would have seen. So with the would, we use have and then the participle form of the verb. Okay, after would, here we would have, we have the past participle form. If we had taken your advice, in the if clause we have used had taken, that is past perfect. Okay, in the main clause, would have, then participle form of the verb, saved. If we had taken your advice, comma, we would have saved time. So how to make the sentence? What is structure? So under the conditional clause, then main clause, under the conditional clause, if, then past perfect tense of the verb. Okay, along with the other words, we use the tense in the past perfect form. And in main clause, we have this would have, should have, could have, might have, then past participle. Past participle of the verb. Okay, correct the spelling mistake. Past participle of the verb. So if plus past perfect plus would have or should have or could have or might have, then past participle of the verb. So in this third condition, we are talking about a situation that was not fulfilled in the past. Okay, that is why we are using here past perfect form. If she had eaten regularly, not talking in the present tense, in the past perfect, so she would have been healthy. There is no possibility for this to take place again because it's already something that should have take place in the past. Okay, that is past perfect form is used here. So now we have exercises. Exercise 5, page number 188. Give the correct form of the verb. So if she had paid the fine, so she dash not be sent to prison. We will do these exercises here now. Second, if he dash promote his goods, he would have made a lot of money. Third one, if I had known you were still reading the book, I dash not keep it away. Not keep it bracket. 4. If you had been in Kashmir, what dash you dash in bracket do. If I had known that your mother was in hospital, I dash in bracket visit her. 6th one, if you dash in bracket cook the stew well, it would have tasted better. 7th one, if she had had a bad toothache, comma, she dash in bracket go to the dentist. 8th one, if I dash in bracket know that you were coming, I would have put you up in a hotel. 9th one, if I dash in bracket study biology, comma, I would have taken the pre-medical entrance test. And 10th one is, I would have read that book if she dash in bracket recommend it. So these are to be done just now. Let us start with the first sentence. So we have already started the first sentence with the if clause. If she had paid, past perfect form is used. If she had paid the fine, she, what will be the form of verb there? We know we have to use would there. Would. So not is given there. So would not have. Would not have been. It is not be in bracket. So would not have been sent to prison. The answer is would not have been sent to prison. One side we have the past perfect, the other side we have would have plus past participle form. Remember the rule. Second sentence, if he dash. So here the dash is given, answer is to be found out here where we have the if clause. So it is past perfect. So we know that with past perfect, if it is promote, it should be had promoted. If he had promoted his goods, he would have made a lot of money. The third one, the if clause is given. We have to find out the verb in the main clause. If I had known you, past perfect, had known you, were still reading the book, I dash in bracket not keep it away. So the form of the verb to be used there is after I would not have kept. Would not have kept. Not kept is given there in the bracket. So would not have kept. The fourth sentence. If you had been in Kashmir, what dash you dash in bracket do. So already, so here there is a mistake. If you had been in Kashmir, it is a if clause. If you had been in Kashmir, correct it. So if you had been in Kashmir, what would you have done? What would you have done? Okay, so you have to find out the proper tense there with regard to the main clause. So fifth one, if I had known, past perfect, if I had known that your mother was in hospital, I dash visit her. Second rule we know that we have to use would have, then participle form. So I would have visited her. I would have visited her. Sixth question, if you, starting with the if clause, if you had cooked, past perfect, if you had cooked the stew well, it would, so it is if clause. So if you had cooked the stew well, comma, a comma is necessary here, it would have tasted better. Seventh one, if she had had a bad toothache, she dash in bracket go to the dentist. So what is the form of verb there? Seventh one, she would have gone to the dentist. She would have gone to the dentist. Eighth one, starting with the if clause, if I dash in bracket no is given. If I had known that you were coming, I would have put you up in a hotel. If I, ninth one, if I dash study. So we know should be past perfect. If I had studied. If I had studied biology, comma, I would have taken the pre-medical entrance test. And the last one, I would have read that book if she dash recommend it. So what will be the form of the verb there? So I would, already the main clause is given. I would have read that book if she had recommended it. If she had recommended it. So students, today we have studied the conditional clauses. So we have seen what is zero conditional and what is open conditional and what is hypothetical conditional, and finally we have seen the conditional that takes place in the past, unfulfilled condition in the past. So if you are not using the tense, okay, tense of the verb properly, so there is all probability that we write wrong sentences in this. So it is very important to learn these rules. Very simple, but it is very important and very useful for us. So learn these conditional clauses very well, and in the next classes we will be trying to go for some writing discussion. So writing, and based on the Total English textbook we will be doing the exercises. So we may start from the beginning of the textbook, and it is time for us to complete the textbook. So we will be reading comprehension and grammar and the other proposal and other writings, okay, review writing and every other writings we will be discussing in the next classes, and we will be also completing our writing works along with that. Thank you very much.